The USA Today editorial board even weighed in, writing in part, the only way to eliminate the odor surrounding the foundation is to wind it down and put it in mothballs starting today and transfer its important charitable work to another large American charity, such as the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. That's from the USA Today.
Yeah, the numbers are staggering. I don't know what else to say, how else to put it. It is so... I want to be careful with what I say here, but I don't think I can. It's just so crass.
Yeah.
It is. I saw the numbers. I saw the AP report, and I just sat there and I'm like, are you kidding me?
I looked twice to make sure it was written by the AP, because these allegations have been around for a long time. Clinton Cash was a book about this very sort of topic, and it didn't get much traction in the mainstream media because it was written by someone entrenched in the conservative media establishment. But the AP, sort of the most unimpeachable journalism source.
If she were running against a more credible opponent, this would perhaps be almost a death knell, because rather than get to corruption at first, it gets to judgment.
Right.
What were they thinking, both Clintons, what were they thinking while she was Secretary of State to continue this? And it does show that it was about access to a certain extent, to a large extent. They knew, obviously, that she was going to be running for president at some point.
Of course.
What were they thinking?
Yeah, and it gets to what we were talking about Maureen Dowd before the show, what she's written about for years, just this sort of feeling that Clintonism includes an ideology and a mindset that the rules don't apply to them.
Rules don't apply to them, and they always, Willie, make things tougher for themselves than they need to. And just think about this year. You know, in the past, Hillary Clinton blamed vast right-wing conspiracies for going after her. Think about who her main opponents have been this year, the people that have been hammering her the most. The New York Times.
Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, New York Times, Bernie Sanders, Ron Fournier, a Democrat who is, I mean, I don't know, maybe he's an independent, but he said he's long admired the Clinton firm. And now we have the Associated Press, who called this number, and again, this means nothing in the blogging age, I suppose, but for the Associated Press to write in a news story this term that it was, quote, an extraordinary proportion, shows you just how out of skew this was. It really was breathtaking when I read the story.
Hillary Clinton knew she was going to run for president the minute she lost in 2008. So she had ample time to prepare and to position herself to run. That presumably would have included not having a private server put into her home to open herself up to that, and not taking these donations to the Clinton Foundation. And
having half of everybody that gets in to see you that's not in government, like having to give to the Clinton Foundation first. And I said it yesterday to James Carville in the back and forth. It's also giving speeches to state universities that you represented. That you represented as a senator for $250,000.
There is a lot of poor judgments here. I mean, like, if you go through the list, there's a lot of poor judgments.
Holy